Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Drexwell Seymour, who's a certified public accountant and author of the book Rise Up and Take Your Position. Drexwell, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders. It's a pleasure to be on this program.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk with you because I always love talking with authors because somewhere down the line in your personal or professional experience, the drive within you comes up to go, I've done enough researching, studying, helping, serving, giving that I need to put all this into a book. And so the title sounds really great, Rise Up, and that's an action word, take your position. So give us a little bit of your background and then what caused you to think, it's time to write that book?
Sure. Well, thanks again for the opportunity. So I am a certified public accountant. I've been practicing accounting now since 1991. But I'm also a writer. I've been writing now for the past 4 years. I write articles on a weekly basis. I have a YouTube channel. And then, of course, I wrote this book. And the reason I wrote this book was because I suffered from so many issues and didn't realize, what my purpose in life was. And then I realized that there are many other people who are going through the same thing I'm going through and probably don't know how to get out of it. And so the main purpose of this book was to help others to rise up from where they are based on my experience.
And one thing that makes me, when you think about rise up, you have to have something to rise up to. So it's like the old saying, you have to begin with the end in mind, and you have to start with why. So does that factor into your premise of the book, which is, first you need to know what you're rising up to so that you then have a direction to go?
Absolutely. That is in the book. And basically what the book is saying to everybody, that everybody has a purpose. I know some people don't know what their purpose is, but the book will show them how to identify their purpose, and so they could rise up to fulfill the gifts that's within them. Because I believe that everybody has something within them. It's just waiting for them to cultivate and invest in them, so they can rise up to fulfilling that purpose.
I think what you're touching on here is finding your purpose, or what is your purpose. That's probably one of the biggest, black holes that people would say, I have no clue. I know that I've been told I need to find my purpose and have a purpose in life, so I'm not, like that, a paper boat on the waves of the ocean and thrown and tossed around. Where do you recommend starting if someone says, I need to actually find my purpose so I can begin to rise up to it?
Well, the first thing I would recommend to anyone is to do a self-evaluation, because their purpose is right within them and they didn't realize it. Some of the things, one of the first clues is that there are a lot of things that people are passionate about that they probably go to sleep thinking about it. They wake up thinking about it, and more than likely, that is what you're supposed to be doing. And I would also tell individuals not to rule out the things you don't like, because sometimes we rule out things we don't like because we don't have any confidence. For example, for myself, I hated writing. I avoided writing classes in college, university, because I felt I had no confidence in myself. And now that I discovered that writing now is one of the best things I do. So you also don't just focus on the things you also enjoy. Focus also on the things you don't like, because maybe there's a reason why you don't like it. That's because you have no confidence. And once you realize that you could do it, then all of that will spur into finding your purpose.
You talk about confidence, and I think that's such an important topic because people have, kind of like that imposter syndrome. And that's actually a thing. Is they feel like if I do that thing that I feel like my purpose is, people aren't going to respect it. They're not going to accept it, embrace it, and I just feel like I'm an imposter. So does that factor into some of your teachings?
It is. It is included into that, but one of the drawbacks, I think, to the confidence element is that a lot of us sometimes we compare ourselves to other people, and we feel we're not good enough. We feel that other people are better than us, and so we don't have any confidence. Some people didn't even go to college. They feel they have no confidence. So all that is in the book. You don't even have to go to college to build confidence. You just need to be confident in what you do, even if you don't have a college degree, but you know for sure this is what you want to do. And so all of that is in the book to build up your confidence level. And once you build up your confidence level, you can achieve anything you want to achieve.
And do you think that that's one of the biggest obstacles people have in, kind of living out their fullest life or finding their purpose, is that confidence level?
It is the confidence level, but what is driving it, in my opinion, is fear. I think the greatest obstacle, people are afraid. People are afraid of everything. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of people going to think about them, and all that links back to their confidence level because they have all this level of fear inside of them. They don't have any confidence. So the main obstacle to me is that people are afraid. They're afraid of themselves as well. They're just afraid. They're afraid of failing. And in the book I mentioned, even if you fail, it doesn't matter. Failure is an opportunity. And if you look around the world, the greatest successful people in the world experience failures. And so everybody wants to have this perfect thing or this perfect person. But you'll never find a perfect thing, the perfect person. You just have to take the risk and launch out.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think, there's a song that I was actually listening to on a flight last night coming back from a conference, Fear is a Liar, and fear is a real thing, but all of those things, FEAR is known to stand for false expectations appearing real. And it really is a lie most of the time.
That is true. That fear is a lie, yes. That is true. And of course, the opposite of fear is faith, eh? If you have the faith, you could believe you could do anything,
So what do you then say to someone that goes, okay, my purpose is starting to clarify, and I'm starting to take those steps of faith, and then something happens to derail them and they give up?
Okay, so I would tell individuals, first of all, they will experience obstacles. Unfortunately, that's part of life. You will experience obstacles. Life is like a season. You're going to have all these different seasons in your life. But, and you mentioned in the question about giving up, that's the key. We can't give up. I'm quite sure if they reflect on themselves, they could reflect on moments where they had failures or they had given up, but things came to pass. And so they need to reflect on things in the past, how they was able to get out of it, and they suddenly get out of this situation now. But they just cannot give up. They always have to think positive. They have to believe, and they have to remember that life is a season.
Yeah.
And what they're going through right now is just temporary.
That's a really good. The song by Torrin Wells comes to mind, Hills and Valleys. There's always going to be those valleys, and that season, you're in the season in between those two, and when you get to that hill, just know, relish it, appreciate it, but you're going to look down and see, here comes a valley, and don't worry, though, that's a season, and look up, here comes the hill, and that's going to be a good thing. Now, the climb up to the top of the peak and the summit takes work, but, when you get there, that's going to be a good thing. So seasons is normal. That's a good point to bring up.
Thank you.
So what else? What would you work with the client to say once you have that confidence, you take some steps forward, and you bolster that faith, don't give up? What's the next step?
Well, they first of all they need to stay focused. They need to stay focused, and the thing is they cannot be distracted. Because sometimes they might have some ideas that appear to be non-traditional. If they know for sure this is what they were supposed to do, then they need to do it. Even if they don't have any lots of money, but they could start with something. Even if even they start with just saving $1 a day, it adds up. So anything that they have, I believe, is in their hands. And so the key thing is to remain focused and stop comparing themselves to other people. I think that's a big thing we need to focus on, is focus on you and stop focusing on other people. You know what your goals are. Focus on reaching your destination.
Well, I agree with that focus. And I one of the things that pops in my mind when you're describing that is accountability for keeping you focused and motivation. So no matter what that purpose is, whether it's to gain 20 pounds or lose 20 pounds or do better personally, professionally, many times your accountability partner, maybe you need to ask someone, can you be an accountability partner with me and for me? What is the benefit of bringing that into the equation?
I think that's an excellent point you raised. In fact, for me, as I mentioned in my book, I suffer from inferiority complex for probably almost 40 years, and honestly, one of the most important points that I was able to overcome was through my wife. She was there, encouraging me, holding me accountable, supporting me, and letting me know, Drexwell, you are somebody. Nobody's better than you. And so having somebody to hold you accountable, I think is a recipe for success. I think that's one of the key means of overcoming and reaching your potential. Is through having somebody to guide you. Or not necessarily guide you, or just hold you accountable.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and now the guide, it then brings in, maybe a mentor. Maybe you need to have two. A mentor that is willing to guide you, and maybe that's someone that has gone through the alleys that you are going through. So that's wonderful. But they're not really going to be the accountability partner, because this mentor may be someone that is, very busy and very influential. So maybe that mentor is someone that is willing to meet with you periodically. But that accountability partner is going to make sure that you're staying, and doing the things to achieve those stages. And that's a really great correlation there as well.
Yes. Because when you're ready to give up or go down, that accountability person will be right there to encourage you to get up.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Because it could be very lonely. It could be very lonely. Trying to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, you see the video commercials about the Olympians, and it's like, they're getting up at 4 a.m. to train and do the things that their competitors are not willing to do, or so I think that's something that accountability partner will help you stay on track and stay focused. But what do you think about when you have that goal, which is the purpose? I have heard the push and the pull, concept that relates to this, where it's like if you just feel like you want to achieve that thing, whatever that thing is, you're going to feel pushed to do it because someone's, saying you need to get up at 4 a.m. to do this thing. But you really want to find the why behind it so that it pulls you toward that, so that you don't feel pushed. So what do you feel is the contrast between being pushed and being pulled?
Yeah, I mean, that's very good. I mean, absolutely. I think, for example, for me, once I discovered my passion, my purpose, which I believe is to influence, to encourage, and to inspire. So because I realized this is what my purpose is, I automatically just get up in the mornings, get up at nights, writing the articles, doing the YouTubes for inspiring people. So I don't have to get pushed for it. I am doing it because I know I've discovered my purpose. And so it comes natural for me. And when I realize that people are being inspired and encouraged by it, it just keeps pushing me more. So I think the key is finding what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
This is what you want, not for other people, or not to become famous or get celebrity status, but to fulfill what you want to do. And I think once you find that, then automatically you'll have a drive to get up in the mornings, because it requires a lot of work, it requires consistency, and all of that I think will fall into play once you realize what it is you want.
Yeah, I think that's, it sounds so easy to talk about and to lay it out, but I think sometimes people need to hear it again and again and from different perspectives, and hearing these things from your perspective and your, experience may very well be the light bulb that goes off in their mind. So I think that's, very timely that you bring this book to market. So I think that's wonderful. Well, what is some final thoughts that you would recommend about people will learn from the book, and then what's the best way that someone can reach out and connect with you and read a copy of your book?
Well, first of all, thanks again. My final comments I would encourage people to believe. This is what I put in the book: to believe in your dreams. Okay, and I don't believe that dreams are a coincidence. I believe those dreams are there for a reason. It's part of your life, and you should pursue it. And I also believe that you should do as much research as possible about your area, get as much knowledge as possible, and once you get that knowledge, you can equip yourself. And if you get that knowledge, nobody can take it away from you. And when you get that knowledge, it helps you with your confidence level. The reason some people are not confident as well, not just because they're afraid, is because they don't have any knowledge. And so I would encourage you to get as much knowledge as possible about that area that you want to pursue, or you believe is your calling. The book is available on Amazon. You could get it in Kindle format, or you could get it in a printed format. It's Rise Up and Take Your Position.
Excellent. Well, I will make sure to have your website linked in the show notes, and people can reach out and connect with you. And yeah, I love the subtitle, Don't Give Up, Find Your Gift and Cultivate It. Well, Drexwell, thank you so much for coming on the program today. It was a real pleasure talking with you.
Oh, the same is here. Thank you for the opportunity.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.